The culture of cycling has grown, and I think the more we provide access to bicycles for people to actually commute, that's where we'll see the culture really growing in Khayelitsha, and that goes for the economy as well. My name is Sindile Mavundla. I'm the co-founder and managing director of Culture Cycles. Heroes on Bikes was a wild idea, and it was a response really to the COVID-19 pandemic, where we provide bicycles for essential workers. We do this together with Avalanche and Pedal Power. We've been fortunate to get the bicycles from BAN, donated by the Department of Transport, together with the Bicycle Consortium. Today we're here at the Bicycle Empowerment Network to pick up our donation of bicycles that are going to Heroes on Bikes in Khayelitsha. We are at Makhazakan in Khayelitsha. We are delivering 5 bicycles as part of our Heroes on Bikes donation. Makhazakan is one of a chain of Cape Town Together, and they've been very instrumental in assisting the community to get ready during the COVID-19 time. And we're excited to be donating bicycles to them to further their work. They run quite a number of initiatives, which include a soup kitchen that feeds quite a huge number of people around Makhazakan. So the rain is starting to pour down. We are at our second stop at Harare Camp, and we are doing a bicycle handover. Juma is just showing the beneficiaries how to mount their handlebars.
Guys, it's social distancing. Thank you for this awesome initiative. This is awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much.
There's a spare queue. Please ensure when you're riding a bike you have a helmet on. No helmet, no ride. It even says on the bike, right? No helmet. The dream obviously is to have a bicycle shop, the first bicycle shop in Khayelitsha, and to increase or to grow the culture of cycling within townships. So this is where the Culture Cycles bike shop is going to be. We've been very fortunate to work with the church and the private owner who owns the land. And the bike shop is going to be built using shipping containers. And we're very excited, and I think the locals are also excited. There's going to be quite a lot of development business opportunities that are coming out of here as well. So for people who would like to donate a bike for an essential worker or support any of our causes that we're doing, they can go on BeckerBuddy, www.beckerbuddy/culturecycles. That's where they'll find all our fundraising efforts.
This is day 1 of the Co-Create Design Festival on-site tours. I am Upiwe Wakwamanata, better known as Lady P, and thank you so much for joining us. On today's on-site visit tour, we are at Culture Cycles to talk everything about entrepreneurship, how the business started, and later I'm going to be joined by, of course, the co-owners of Culture Tours, Usindile Mavundla, and of course, Juma Mkwela, and we'll talk everything. Literally, it's just a conversation. So all you have to do is hashtag on all social media platforms. It's hashtag Co-Create Design Festival 2021. But of course, all you have to do is just join the conversation. If you do have any questions, you can definitely join us on our Facebook pages and of course Instagram and drop your questions there. But right about now, I am going to be joined by Sindile Mavundla to talk about, of course, Culture Cycles. Welcome to it. This is the Co-Create Design Festival. How are you feeling?
Excited, anxious, all sorts of things, actually. Let me just say that. But thank you very much for having me. And also coming through to visit us at Culture Cycles. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely A pleasure. Well, this place is absolutely beautiful. Let's start there. Absolutely beautiful. I love what you do. But first thing is first, just give us a brief history of how Culture Tours cycles actually started.
Yeah, so we started Culture Cycle started in 2018, and my partner and I just met. Business partner Juma and I met, and I was doing learn to cycle classes.
Yeah.
So I had this thing of like, I want to teach people how to ride bicycles, and the idea of starting a free learn to cycle class came about, and we actually met through that. So our first class, was a full, attended by ladies, which was really exciting because
Okay.
initially we thought, guys are going to attend, but
Yeah.
ladies attended, and ever since it's been like that. So from there, once a person finishes learning how to ride a bike, they
Yeah.
immediately ask you, where can I buy a bicycle? And we thought, there's never been a bike shop in Khayelitsha.
Yeah.
And we're going to be the first people to actually put it up there. And that's what we did. We started from just having a website, really a crappy website. But we then from there ended over to actually having a full-on container, which we converted into a bike shop. And employed a couple of people that are working with us as mechanics and also storekeepers. So that's how we started as Culture Cycles.
Which is absolutely beautiful. I mean, bringing your community to a vibrant place and making sure that you equipped people with a skill. Like riding a bicycle is not something that you wake up and be like, okay, you know what, let me just get on a bike because you're going to fall. That's what's going to happen to you. You're going to fall. But what happens here at Culture Cycles on a day-to-day basis?
So here we sell bikes, we fix bikes, and we build bikes from scratch.
Okay.
As well. I mean, if you can go over that side, there's like 5 cruiser bikes that we actually built up.
Yeah.
But I mean, also, this is just not a bike shop. We didn't want to create a normal bicycle sport where you just go in to fix or sell or buy a bike. But we wanted to create a space where people can come through, sit here, have a conversation, have a sense of community. And that's where we started, the community cycling club.
Okay.
And that's it came really from that. Someone came through here, was like, look, how about we all ride together on a weekday? And we were like, okay, yeah, let's do it. We have bikes. So from just, 2 people, we have like 165 riders that ride with us on a given day. So it's really become this community bike shop, and people from this area actually own it. Which has been like the big thing for me, because I always wanted to create a space where I can go and sit and really enjoy, what the space has to offer. I mean, the space is really beautiful. It's quite big. And we have Juma, who does a lot of creativity here. There's jazz festivals that happen here. So it's been really just a lovely space, just apart from bicycles only.
Now, obviously, with the next question would be, who's the clientele? Because you get young, you get old. So who do you cater to in terms of riding bikes? Like you said, Ujoma does festivals. So obviously you cater to the old, to the new, so take us through that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mix of people, but I normally say it's families. It's families, because you find normally a kid will actually, pull a mother or a father coming here to the shop to look at bikes. Or you can have a grandpa. Actually, our first customer ever was a grandpa that came here to buy. Like our first customer bought a bike. But I mean, it's different people. But at the same time, as you can look, I think it's young people that are here today. So we really cater different for different markets. But I normally just categorize it as, just families that come to utilize the sport.
And now, what challenges have you faced? I mean, with COVID, with opening the store, being in a community that faces so many adversities on a day-to-day basis. So, what challenges have you faced in growing the business?
Yeah, so I think for part of the challenges maybe has been before COVID we didn't have a store, right? And when COVID hit, we actually thought, you know what, this is an opportunity for us, right? Because pretty much everybody needed reliable and safe transport at that time, and bicycles are just a perfect way to do that. And then we thought, you know what, let's do something awesome. Let's do a fundraiser that can get us, bicycles. But at the same time, the biggest challenge was actually getting that first, investment to actually open up a sport like this. But through the campaign that we did, we managed to raise a good amount of money to be able to provide those bicycles and be able to open the store. And now we own our second store, in a short space of time, in under a year, so which has been really great. But I think also another part has been red tapes. There's a lot of red tapes in our communities.
Exactly.
There's a lot of gatekeepers. So if you need a certain thing done, you have to be belonging to a certain, associated with a certain party or that sort of thing, which was not our style at all. But I think as young people, pretty much in townships, what we need mainly is just opportunities. That's what we need.
Absolutely.
And that ability to be able to access the necessary mentorship that we need and the guidance and all of these things. That for us has been quite a challenge, and I'm happy to say we've pretty much eradicated some of that.
Absolutely. Now, for somebody who's at home watching on a live stream and wants to start a business, no matter how small it is, because I mean, you started off small, but look at the growth that you have surpassed in only just a short space of time, and now opening a second store. What advice would you give to somebody who looks at your journey and be like, I want to be like Sindile?
We normally say, Jume and I normally say, just do it. Just honestly, guys, just do it. I mean, I know it kind of sounds sort of like rich coming from me right now, but that's where we started. We started our Learn to Cycle class with just only 3 bicycles, that we just got from somewhere. I don't even remember where we got those bikes, but I know we didn't steal them. But I don't know where we got them. But I mean, we just started with just 2 or 3 bicycles that we actually, when we were like, you know what, we're just going to dedicate our time to this thing. And that's how we wanted to grow the market, right? Because our main idea is that we need to grow the market. Not a lot of people are cycling in the township, but how do you, they're not cycling in the townships because there's no access to bicycles, first of all, and there's no access to cycling clinics. And how about we actually bring this? And so by bringing free, accessible Learn to Cycle classes, you're starting a whole new generation of cyclists. And that's what has worked for us. So I would say for someone that wants to start a business, whether you have 5 rand or you have flour in your home, you want to bake a makwenya, for example, just fed cakes, just try it and sell to a few people and see how that actually, picks up from there. But to procrastinate and say, yeah, I'm going to wait until I have 10,000 rand, that 10,000 rand might not arrive, so you might as well just start doing it now.
Absolutely. And now, obviously, with the whole entire 4th industrial revolution, things are moving digitally. How has that impacted your business, or how do you rather focus and shift this whole thing that is happening here at Culture Cycles into a digital platform? Because obviously not everybody has access to the digital space, but now because we are moving digitally, how have you incorporated that part into your business?
I mean, we had to make shift. I mean, there was a time when I built a website for the first time. I've never built a website at all. And we built this beautiful, well, for me personally, because it's my baby, it's beautiful. We built this beautiful website, which is a culturecycles.co.za website. And we started selling bicycles from there before we even had a store, right? And a lot of people were buying bicycles from there. And even now today, both of our stores are currently under construction. And most of our sales are coming through our online platforms. So that just shows you the power of technology, right? And you're quite right. I mean, not everybody has access to that space at this point. But hence now people can actually walk in here and be able to buy a kit or whatever that they want to do. But I mean, also in terms of how we keep our stock in here, everything is digitized. And that's the same. We've sort of like built this model that we want to sort of replicate in all our stores. I mean, our main focus on getting these shipping containers is all around South Africa and probably Africa. And we still want to push the element of innovative, technology. So if you come here, you're coming to pay. You pay with a card, snap scan. You do online buying immediately, and then we deliver to you. That sort of stuff. So pretty much we are covered in that way. But I think right now we're going to be starting a bicycle rental company very soon, and we want people to just snap scan, take a bike, and then ride off, drop it off somewhere, and then that's pretty much it.
Absolutely. And now, obviously, another question that I just want to bring in, what are some of the misconceptions that people have had when it comes to your business, or rather you faced? I mean, because my thing is, people always have something to say, like,
Yeah.
no, it's not going to work, no, this, that. But what has been the biggest misconception for you?
That township people don't ride bicycles. That actually drives me to somewhere. But I think also it's you know there's an amazing guy. Actually, he's from Wits, Jongu Morgan.
Mhm.
He wrote this amazing book on the history of cycling in Johannesburg, and it basically tells you an amazing story of how people of color used to actually use bicycles to get to work. Before, I
Yeah.
mean, we had like these beautiful cars that we have right now. And it basically shows you the whole history of bicycles and how people used to commute to school, to work, to just even go buy something as simple as bread, you know. And that sort of got lost somehow, because even my mother knows how to cycle, but she never transferred that to my younger sister,
Yeah.
right? So it got lost. But I think that the biggest misconception that we have to deal with was basically that why are you starting a bike shop in a township where people don't cycle?
Yeah.
Where are cycling lanes? Where are all of this? And we're like, once people started cycling, those things will come.
Yeah.
Right now we have a nice, beautiful cycling infrastructure. It's not perfect, but people are using it, right? And I think the more people we get into, into cycling, the more designers actually have to really think about how they design our cities, design our townships, which is basically really critical in terms of how we evolve or develop, as a community. And I think now, maybe in the next few years to come, you will see a lot of people cycling to the mall, because now we're at the mall, which is really awesome. So I think that has been one. But I mean, we try to educate as much as we can.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that follow us have seen how we have promoted and encouraged cycling, from 2 riders to 165 riders. I mean, that's amazing.
Absolutely. And now for young innovators that want to venture into cycling but don't know where to start or how to start, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, so I think the advice, I mean, it goes back to that do it, or they can even get in touch with us. I mean, we're always willing to assist. I mean, we can't be everywhere,
Yeah.
honestly, and we're always willing to collaborate. Hence, now we have this beautiful space here. We're going to be training 3 mechanics here. And these mechanics are going to be trained in bicycle mechanics and also in entrepreneurship. And what we want them to do is, once they graduate, they need to go open up their own culture cycle stores elsewhere, right? And now that actually tailors back into that, interest of people wanting to learn how to do this thing.
Yeah.
And then we are able to produce really good quality business women and men, and also who can really run a workshop perfectly. So that's the whole idea. But I think we are always open for collaboration, for sharing of information. I think when we arrived in this industry, a lot of people sort of closed their doors on us because they were like, why are you entering the space?
Yeah.
And we've been really privileged to be part and have people in our corners, that really advocated for us to even get access to buying, something as simple as a tube for a bicycle, So to answer that question in short, I did say I talk a lot. Get in touch with us. We're always willing.
Absolutely. Now, in the next 5 years, actually, where do you see culture cycles?
So in the next 5 years, so I always joke with Juma about this. And I always say, as the MD, I have 7 years in this business.
Okay.
And after 7 years, I want to hand over to someone else, because I don't want to be in the space in 7 years. I want to do something else. And I think my mission right now is to actually get culture cycles all over South Africa. And we're doing that. I mean, we're looking at a prospect in Durban currently, of having a bike store in Durban. And the next one is actually Soweto in Joburg. So if we can actually hit almost every province, for me, that will be a very good mission. And then it's a big tick. And then I'll worry about African matters, because I really think the business model that we have here has a really great potential of going into Africa. And I think with the support that we have, I mean, definitely we can do that. Absolutely. So that's where we're going in the next 5 years.
Absolutely. And what are your last parting words for people that are inspired by your journey?
Yeah, so I mean, I just didn't start here. I mean, we still, experiencing a lot of teething problems. But what I would like to say is that, if ever you want to come through and experience the space, come through. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. There are people with amazing ideas out there that have approached us, and we have supported them. And if we can't, we'll find someone.
Yeah.
But I love collaboration so much that I always say to people, we wouldn't be where we are right now without collaboration and partnership. So our door, literally, it's always open. So please do come through.
Absolutely. I want to bring Juma into the picture because he does quite a lot. He designed that beautiful heart, but can I call it a bicycle heart?
It is the home heart of Kailicha.
The whole heart of
No,
Kailija.
warm heart of Kailicha.
Warm heart of Kailija. I absolutely love that. This is Juma Mkwela. Now, what is your connection with culture cycles?
Okay, so I am the co-director of Culture Circles, and my job is to make sure that this place functions.
Okay. Period. Just functions.
Yeah.
And now, when did you decide to get involved? I mean, like you said, you designed the warm heart of Ikailija. So, what made you say, okay, you know what, this is where my heart is, and I want to be invested in this?
Okay, so I grew up cycling, and I became part of this 3 years back. Yeah, so this is like my third year.
Oh, this is your third year
cycles.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, obviously, with the growth of the company, what from the day-to-day runnings of the business, what exactly do you do?
Okay, so so I make sure that this place functions, mostly in designing, and make sure that our customers are happy, and also that you are also happy.
If I'm happy, then everybody else is happy.
Because if a client is not happy, they won't buy the bicycles. So I make sure that the place looks nice and it is in good shape.
Right. And now, what is your dream for young South Africans who want to enter the cycling space and also want to learn how to design? Because, I mean, you are a designer after all, you're an artist.
Okay, so if you look at cycling, our forefathers used to cycle and it just disappeared somewhere. So we are more like bringing it back. Yeah, so that's what I need the youngsters to see, that we are bringing it back.
Absolutely. And now, what inspires you to actually be quite a vast artist in terms of, obviously you're a cycler, obviously you're very artistic. What is it that makes your heart pump and say, okay, you know what, for young people, this is what I want, and make sure that it actually happens?
Art is more about telling stories.
Okay.
So if you can tell a story through bicycles and the space around you, and also bicycles connect people.
Yes, they
so
do.
art will also connect us, and also bicycles as well.
Absolutely. And now with COVID, COVID really literally took us by surprise. How has the business shifted in terms of the day-to-day runnings, people coming in, adhering to COVID protocols and stuff like that?
Honestly, it has been a challenge, mostly during COVID, but because we just push, I think that's what made us to survive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now, is there anything else that you want to share with us? Last parting words, inspiration, Yana?
I want to say people must continue coming to Culture Circles, and let's have more people cycling, because it is healthy and it is more fun, and you must also come to cycle with us.
I'm riding a bike just after this, by the way. But that's absolutely amazing. As you've heard, yes, as you've heard Uchuma and Usindile's stories, I just want to throw it to our audience members and, of course, our live stream audience. Is there anybody that has questions? By a show of hands. Let me know. Yes, there's a question there.
I was just wondering your fundraising. How did you go about fundraising, and who joined and who got involved?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Actually, the fundraising, I remember we were just before COVID. Yeah. So we were just chilling, and we thought, you know what, let's do a fundraiser, and we did like a fundraiser on Becca Buddy, and we have never done a fundraiser at such a scale, right? So we thought, you know what, we're gonna need about 50K to start off with, and I'm like 50,000. I don't know where we're gonna get 50,000, but we started approaching people within the cycling circles, and then who approached their own friends. From just 20 bicycles, it went to like 500 bicycles. So far I think we've distributed 450 bikes.
450, and there's another 560.
And there's still another 560 that's on the way. So from there, I mean, it was really just constantly, engaging with people who are donating their money, because they always want to understand where their money is going to. But at the same time, they always want to hear the stories. They want to hear the story of Ulumka, how she's traveling from one place to another. They've always want to, to just keep them engaged. And that's what we have done. And I think those people in turn not only just donated their money, but they became part of this thing that we wanted to do. I mean, whenever we share stuff about Culture Cycles, they're always on just providing us with that support.
Yeah. Absolutely. Is there another question?
Yeah, should I take this one as well?
We've got layback options as well. So it's 3 months or 4 months. So, and also they're affordable from 2.5 to 14K. Yeah, very affordable. So layby 3 months or 4 months. If you also want to do 5 months, we can make it happen as well. We make sure that a client has the bicycle. So we don't stick mostly to 3 months, but you can expand as long as you need the bicycle. So
as long as it's a payment plan.
Yeah.
Payment plan, yeah.
Another
Hopefully
question?
in future we can introduce bicycle financing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the future plan.
Absolutely. Do we have another question? Yes. Give me, what's the
slogan?
The slogan? Yes. What's the slogan?
So the slogan is push and pedal, right? So and the funniest thing is that we were thinking, I'm a mountain biker, so the hardest times when you actually hit a steep, the only thing you can do is to push your bike, and you can't let go. You need to just push and keep on pedaling. And we felt that, push and pedal actually speaks to what we're all about, because I mean, we've been bulldozing doors. And we've been just keeping on pedaling, because our philosophy on when you're cycling is that if you stop pedaling, you're going to fall, right? So you don't want to stop pedaling. You just want to keep on pushing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So as you were talking earlier, you were talking about red tapes that you had. So what type of red tapes can you mention, like top 3, and like how you overcame them?
Yeah. You want to take this, Jules? So one of them has been access to funding, of course. I mean, that's a given. But the second one has been access to suppliers, because I mean, you as a shop, you want to get suppliers that will give you a really reasonable amount. And one of those stumbling blocks in supplier-wise was that we needed to have, like, for example, I won't mention the name, we needed to get like 100,000 to be able to open an account. What are we going to do with 100,000 worth of stock? That's question number one, right? And also, we don't have that money at this point. And probably number 3 has been, sort of like the slow pace of how our, well, let me say it in this way, how municipality and also how our city actually works in making decisions, right? Because we've been looking for a piece of land for a while, and we presented our ideas. But it's not like it's not being done, but it's taking a very slow pace. And in the next week, everything has changed for us, because our sort of like sector changes quite a lot. And I mean, those are some of the stuff that we have experienced. I hope that answers your question.
Somewhat. Another question somewhere? Yes.
I just want to say I'm excited already. My question is this: are we gonna go right now?
Okay, he just wants to ride. One more
Yes,
question.
You can ride.
Great. But before we go for a ride, I was just curious about, there was a video that was streamed a little earlier about bicycles, a fundraiser that you did for some bicycles for essential workers.
Yeah.
During the COVID, one of the lockdowns of the COVID pandemic. I just wanted to know how that went. Is that still happening? I mean, how are things going with that?
Yeah, so that's still currently happening. So those are the 500 bicycles that we fundraise for. But I think now the focus has been, obviously, I mean, those bikes, when we got them, they went to essential workers, they went to soup kitchens, Some of them were actually being used to deliver, because our biggest issue was I honestly do not feel comfortable with elder people standing in a line to actually get something to eat. And the conversation there then became that, how about we get these soup kitchens, bicycles, to actually be able to transport food to elderly people and get medication for them. So now part of that actually was another spin-off, was we looked at some businesses, identified businesses that couldn't get their products to market. So the idea there was, we'll have an agreement with the entrepreneur about a bicycle leasing, and then they will then be solely responsible for the bicycle and be able to get their products to market. I think now the focus has totally changed, because that need that we were addressing at that time has sort of not really died down, but now we're sort of like looking at how do we, make available cargo bicycles that could be used. I mean, the Dutch are like the best at that. How do we make available cargo bicycles that can be used to transport goods? Juma is going to be baking here. He's a chef, by the way. Yeah. So
Juma
he's
is
going to
an
be
all-rounder.
No, he's a very modest guy. He doesn't say a lot. But he's going to be baking some bread, and most of that bread is going to be delivered using bicycles. And those bicycles are coming from that Heroes on Bikes fundraiser that we did.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. One more question, right? Do we have another? Going once, going twice? So absolutely amazing. But we've come to the end of our co-create design festival on-site tour for day one right here at Culture Cycles. So an absolutely amazing. What I loved about what Osindile said is the fact that it starts with you. You just need to do it. You just need to get up and do it. Literally. And another thing, the fact that we are all growing our communities and we come from different backgrounds. We don't know each other's stories, but the moment we tell our stories our way, that's where the passion comes from. And just here as the fact that we are here today in a beautiful, beautiful piece of land, and everything that we need is literally at the tip of our hands. So do what you gotta do, get up, and go start whatever dream that you have. It just starts with doing it. Well, that's from me to you, Uphiwa Komanata, better known as Lady P. This is day one of the Co-Create Design Festival 2021. Signing out. Cheers.